in the next couple minutes, you are going to see clips that I've uncovered that have basically proven that Gary Gensler is getting paid by the Ethereum Foundation. He has literally been bribed into suing XRP because they are the Ethereum Foundation. Guys, I've literally uncovered this. It is not anywhere for some reason, even though this should be breaking the internet. Now, throughout this video, I'm going to show you two clips. The first clip is going to be Gary Gensler before he was paid by the foundation of Ethereum, and you'll see that he clearly was about to say that Ethereum is a security and that he really didn't believe in any of the systematic things that were built in Ethereum. And then the clip right after that is the clip after the founder of Ethereum paid Mr. Gary Gensler himself. It is also after the time that we discovered that the brother of Gary Gensler's twin brother, was actually invested in a major Ethereum investment firm. So basically what was happening was the complete opposite of Gary Gensler was shown. Gary Gensler then decided to not disclose whether he believed that Ethereum was a security or not, and he basically started to hint that Ethereum was a cryptocurrency and not a security. And from then on, we just seen XRP get sued, and as you guys can see, we are where we are to this day. That being said, let's get right into this video.
It was a gentleman in Florida that put up citrus groves and started to sell them, and the Supreme Court had to decide what is an investment contract, because an investment contract is a security. This four-part test, in my mind, suggests that most, maybe not all, but most initial coin offerings are securities, because they're investment contracts where there is an exchange of money, there's a common enterprise, you're relying on somebody else's expertise for profits. This is why I've earlier this year said I think that most of them are. I think Ether, when it was done in 2014, would pass this test. When I say pass, it means it's a security. Now, subsequently, the SEC has said by 2018 it's decentralized enough, and they've sort of said, you know, we'll let it go the other way. But whether it's Ripple or EOS or others that have done big initial coin offerings, when you think about these four things, they're probably there. But again, it's less than a quarter of the market. So this is an important debate, but it's not the whole debate.
So as you guys heard in the clip, he basically said that the Ethereum coin itself would actually fail every part of the Howey test and would thus be deemed a security, but that the SEC is currently keeping a blind eye to it. Now, this is before he was getting paid by the Ethereum Foundation. He was kind of clear, you know, we're definitely against it. He believes Ethereum is a security no matter what happens. He was basically hinted that he was at, you know, the spot he is today. If he was chairman, he would sue the Ethereum Foundation right away. And look at what happens now. Before we move forward, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Liable Crypto, where you can get your own physical crypto coins. Yes, it's absolutely fantastic. I actually got my own, and they just came in a couple days ago. And they have so many different coins like Ethereum, Cardano, Shiba Inu, Dogecoin. They even have a Ripple XRP. And of course, they're consistently adding in new crypto coins. So make sure you guys do go ahead and check them out. They're actually decently priced, and they look absolutely fantastic. Here's the ones that I currently got. So yeah, guys, make sure you guys do check out Liable Crypto. The link is in the description, and let's get right into the video.
Can you explain your view of whether Ethereum is a security or not? I think you've actually suggested it isn't, but then why you believe that Ripple is a security. And I know there's an ongoing lawsuit related to Ripple, but could you speak to the Ethereum issue?
Andrew, just to have a little fun with you, refer back to my earlier question. I'm not going to speak to any one matter. And so your listeners understand it. I'm the chair of a 5-member commission that's also a civil law enforcement agency. And so we don't get involved in these types of public forums talking about any one project, one possible circumstance, and give legal advice over the airways that way. But again, let me talk about more generically the overall market. If you're raising money from the public, and the public is in anticipation of profit based upon that promoter, sponsor, that group's efforts, that's within the securities laws. And it's within the securities laws because Congress painted with a broad brush. They wanted to protect you, the investing public, so that you have proper information, or what's called full and fair information, and protect you against fraud and scammers and the like. It's a simple, basic idea. You get to decide whether you want to invest in this security or that security. And if they call themselves a token, they're still possibly a security. You get to decide, but there needs to be some basic disclosures and protection against lies and frauds.
Chair Gensler, this sounds like a pretty important distinction and maybe a new way of thinking of these markets. This is kind of a new broad framework that would open the way for the SEC to maybe have a lot more say over a lot of arenas. And you start thinking about all the different ways investors, I mean, I'm just going back a year to where we were a year ago at this point. It was SPACs that were the huge rage that everybody was kind of interested in, and the new way of taking a company public through these acquisition vehicles. And what you're talking about is making sure that you are looking at broad protections because there are so many retail investors that are maybe investing in a different way than they had in the past. Is that kind of what we're listening to here? This sounds like a fairly important statement.
It is important. Part of it's new and part of it's old. It's like that old saying about when one gets married. So the new part is the new technology, whether it's crypto tokens, whether it's special purpose acquisition companies or SPACs. These are something new. There are new ways to trade on the markets through brokerage apps and robo-advisors and that's what's new. But what's kind of old and really important is this basic idea that if you raise money from the public and the public's thinking about a profit, you've got to give them basic disclosures and everything. And that goes back to the 1930s. It goes back to when the Supreme Court defined this test in 1946. That's the important public policy thing that we should not be neutral to. And then the technologies come along and they promote innovation, whether it's crypto, whether it's a new form of doing initial public offerings through these SPACs. That's exciting. Our role at the SEC is to ensure that you, the public, still gets the basic protections.
If I'm the industry, though, I hear that as you guys are laying the groundwork for getting involved in a lot of areas that you maybe hadn't been necessarily closely involved in the past. This is the justification for why you are going to be overseeing all of these different arenas. Is that an unfair
Becky,
assessment?
I beg to just differ with that description.
Yeah.
The SEC has been involved in these arenas since the 1930s. It's been updated. Our laws have been updated often, and staying within that framework, those public policy frameworks of the public gets to decide, but we try to have basic disclosures and protect the public. New technologies come along, and sometimes industry is trying to find what they might think ways around these basic protections. They might be finding ways to, quote, arbitrage this system.
I don't know if you guys already noticed what just happened in this video. What happened was Mr. Gary Gensler was asked a straightforward question. What are your thoughts on Ethereum, since you have previously hinted that it was a cryptocurrency and not a security? And then he was asked another question along with it, which was, what are your thoughts on the lawsuit going on between the SEC and Ripple? And most likely, because they are very similar between XRP and Ethereum, what are your thoughts on those circumstances? What did Mr. Gary do? Probably what he does best. Ignore the question completely. In fact, what he did is he just ignored that Ethereum question and anything related to that and just went in starting to attack XRP without going ahead and attacking it directly. What Mr. Gary decided to do is say that he will not talk about any specific scenario or case that is ongoing within the lawsuit, like the Ripple versus SEC case. And then he started to attack it by going ahead and saying that since, there are a lot of coins that had, specific coin offerings, that they're most likely going to be securities, and that there are specific regulations that these cryptocurrencies didn't follow. Basically, guys, what he did was he just bypassed the entire Ethereum question, ignored the fact that he was asked, why is Ethereum not getting sued? And why is XRP getting sued, even though they're the same? He just right away ignored that part of it and just started attacking XRP. And again, this is something that we've kind of found out over the long term of things, where the Ethereum founders have been working with the SEC, and more specifically, Mr. Jay Clayton, Mr. Gary Gensler's best friend, and Gary Gensler himself, and Gary Gensler's brother brother. So clearly there's a major conflict of interest where Gary himself might be an Ethereum coin on his own. Now, if you might be thinking I'm the only person that said this, it's actually not true. There has been a lot of people that went ahead and said the same thing, that have been able to connect the dots and show facts. BitBoy being one of them right here, where he says that William Hinman was bribed basically by the Ethereum Foundation, and it was quite clear, to be honest, the amount of contracts and discussions and meetings that were held between the SEC and the Ethereum Foundation was so substantial, especially just a couple days before the speech came out that Ethereum was a cryptocurrency and then XRP got sued. So clear conflict of interest there. I'm shocked how there is no legal enforcement action on the SEC and on Mr. Gary himself, because clearly Gary is a big problem. His conflict of interest outbeats everybody else's. You're talking about Gary Gensler's brother literally running a foundation that runs Ethereum, that invests in Ethereum, highly. One of their biggest investment portfolios is in Ethereum. And Mr. Gary owns a big portion of that investment firm. So he's indirectly investing in Ethereum, and to try and pump the price of Ethereum, what he's doing is he's suing any of the Ethereum cryptocurrency competition just to devalue them. And so we can already tell that when Gary went into this lawsuit, he went into a losing case. It was straightforward. Everybody knew this lawsuit from the start was going to be a win for Ripple. But he still went into the lawsuit. I have not seen the SEC jump into a case from before Gary Gensler and Jay Clayton where they went into a case knowing that they were going to lose. And Mr. Gary himself did that because he was getting more personal gain out of it than the SEC. So clearly he was abusing the SEC for personal gain. He had a huge conflict of interest. Where's the enforcement action? Feds, please arrest this man. That being said, guys, please, Mr. Gary Gensler, don't sue me. This is not financial advice. Don't take my opinion on any of this thing, because I know Gary Gensler's watching this video right now. So again, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys are watching every single video because they are so crucial. The next couple videos that are going to come out are so important. You guys are going to keep on learning facts that are going to blow your mind. And plus, the price of XRP is set to explode very soon. I have an update video coming out soon on the technical analysis side of things because you guys really like that, and there is just so much content to showcase. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, not financial or legal advice. Don't buy based on my words, do your own research, and of course, I'll see you in the next Crypto Geek video.